Number 5. State of Flux, otherwise known as Neelix gets really angry when someone invades his personal property.
God, what a dick.
Which, wait, isn't even really his, it's ship community property. Even better, this community property was found by the person who is, quote, stealing it.
Someone has broken into my kitchen and stolen food, taken food out of the mouths of their crewmates.
Yet again, there's a traitor on Voyager, this one a little more confident than Michael Jonas. But before we find out that she is a traitor, it turns out she stole some mushrooms because she wants to cozy up to Chakotay, and the man likes to trip balls, apparently.
It was that Seska, wasn't it?
I promise you everyone involved will be disciplined.
You know, it's bad enough that Neelix is getting so agitated and self-righteous about something that really isn't a big deal.
If you'd like my recommendations for punishment...
No, I'm sorry. No. I'm not sure why we gave you the job you have aboard this ship. Stop trying to get other ones.
Oh, no one gave him the job. He took it, remember? Here's the clip.
I appreciate the thought, Neelix, but this is hardly the time.
As the morale officer on this ship, I insist that a break in the workload is both healthy and necessary.
May I ask when you became morale officer?
Oh, just a few minutes ago when I sensed crew morale might be especially low.
State of Flux. What's yours is mine, what's mine is mine, and I will never shut up about either of them. Number 4. Basics.
Yes, the episode where Neelix gets Hogan killed by telling him to pick up all these bones at the mouth of this cave, ignoring the fact that it's probably a sign that people are being killed at the cave since a pile of bones... Monty Python did this!
Look at the bones!
Yes! Fear the rabbit!
Well, it's always the same. I always tell them, do they listen to me?
Survival expert, my speckled ass! No, I said mine. Does he ever even show the proper regret or atonement for this horrible, life-destroying action?
He does. Until Kes tells him that it's not his fault. Then he's okay with it.
If I hadn't told Hogan to pick up those bones...
You shouldn't blame yourself, Neelix.
And then there's a part where we encounter some hostile native life. And Chakotay comes in smoothly trying to calm everything down, using a calming, soothing tone, to which Neelix responds,
Now see here, you just keep your hands off her.
I present to you the response Neelix often earns. My bald head, it resonates well.
A good solid slap. Slappity slap. Neelix, whenever he starts to show some self-awareness or character development, well, someone makes sure it's back to basics for him. Number 3, Rise. The episode where we learned that lying and pouting gets you your way.
Neelix and Tuvok and some local aliens have to take a magnetic orbital tether, basically an elevator out of the atmosphere, and ride it all the way to the top. Neelix claiming that he used to work on these things and so he can actually get it up and running. And he does a fair job of it to a point. Until Tuvok doesn't give him the respect he thinks he deserves, and so therefore shuts the whole thing down and throws a fit until Tuvok will listen to him.
You're going to listen to me! For 3 years you've ridiculed me and made it obvious to everyone that you have no respect for me. And I've tolerated it. You know why? You know why? Because you are smarter than I am, Tuvok.
Well, duh.
And more logical and stronger and superior in almost every way.
Almost! Of course, the story is contrived that Neelix was right all along, but let's be honest, how many of your co-workers act like this and it turns out they were right, as opposed to how many are just playing stupid dick games?
And it turns out this respect that Neelix keeps screaming and demanding that Tuvok give him is not even his due. Because...
All right, they were models. 1/10 scale, but they were extremely detailed.
You built models.
By that logic, I'm a Cybertronian robotics expert. Give me that! Oh.
You know, I generally find that any character who demands that others respect him rarely deserves that respect. Where's that Tywin clip?
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king.
Yeah, pretty much. But in this case, he's not even the freaking king!
Oh, thank God for that.
He just visited a Burger King once.
Poor Burger King.
Rise. Yeah, this episode sure gets a rise out of us, but I don't think it's the one Neelix wanted. Number 2. Memorial.
We know most of this episode and Neelix isn't that bad. Yes, Neelix is having some emotional trouble in this episode, but it's kind of what the episode's about. Everyone's having emotional trouble, and Neelix's emotional troubles even lead him to do what's right and defend a helpless child. I can get on board with him for that. But unfortunately, that's where I stop because the ending of the episode.
The titular Memorial turns out to be a sort of psychic transmitter, sending out waves and memories and concepts of an atrocity that happened a long time ago on this planet. That's kind of an interesting concept for a memorial, if it was something that you could choose to interact with or not. Like how when you go to the DC Holocaust Museum, some of the most horrifying things are behind a curtain that you can choose to see or not. But no, this thing just grabs the brains of unsuspecting passing aliens, shoves atrocities in there with no context and no consent, and because of the fact that it's from the perspective of the perpetrators, these poor people can walk away thinking they've actually done these horrible things.
39 crew members have begun to experience the same memories.
It appears that the entire crew has been affected.
And to make matters better, we're getting ready to shut this entire thing down so it doesn't traumatize random people in perpetuity, and one person decides this is a worthwhile experience to have your brain raped and you thought that you're a killer. Guess who? I'll give you a hint, it's Neelix.
If we do that, all record of what happened here would be lost.
The monument will still be here.
But that doesn't really tell the story.
Yes, thanks to Neelix, they fixed this thing so it's more effective and will traumatize even more people. What kind of sociopathic loser do you have to be to suffer personal trauma to the point you thought you killed children and it freaked you out, and you want to make more people go through that? What the hell is the matter with you, Neelix?
Memorial. You know, they say there's some things we should never forget, but I think we can afford to forget this episode.
But that doesn't really tell the story.
And the number one piece of evidence against Neelix. The jealousy subplot of Season 2, which comes to a head, oh god, that metaphor, in parturition.
Damn you, parturition!
I'll curse that word in hell.
The seeds of this subplot were sowed all the way back in the very first episode, but it's been building a lot more in Season 2.
Oh god, that metaphor.
Neelix is insecure, which makes sense, about his relationship with Kes, which makes a lot of sense, against Tom Paris, which also makes sense.
He's just one big hormone.
But no matter how much sense it makes, it's still not something I want to watch. Because Neelix isn't reasonably justifiably jealous where he feels bad about what he's doing. No, he embraces the jealousy, acts as petty and possessive and cruel as possible, and then we're supposed to sympathize with him over this?
How do you know where everyone's quarters are?
If Neelix took this as an opportunity to better himself, to reevaluate the nature of his relationship with Kes, that would be one thing. But no. Once again, we see Neelix's selfishness at the core of his being. I want her to stay with me. Who cares if she'd be happier with him? It's all about me. How dare she think of not making me happy?
And he's pretty unreasonable to Tom, who, yes, he is attracted to Kes, but also Tom Paris is being mature about this. Let me rephrase that. Neelix is being less mature than early Voyager Tom Paris. Not even later, early Voyager Tom Paris. And you're being worse than him.
I think I'm going to enjoy this.
So, of course, the two hating each other, alpha dogging at each other, and stag headbutting at each other has come down to this most trite of plots, where the two guys who hate each other are stuck having to depend on each other to survive.
And to take care of a baby.
Damn you all!
Ostensibly this plot is solved, but only in the sense that we don't get any more Neelix's jealous crap. We don't really grow at all past this point. Tom doesn't seem to relate to Kes in a new way. Neelix certainly doesn't relate to Kes in a new way. We get more character growth off the barely on-screen breakup they will have next season. And that's kind of an afterthought.
parturition flashback coming on.
Why would you say that?
So that's the worst of Neelix. His Season 2 jealous streak. And that's our defense, Your Honor. If that's not enough, I don't know what is.
It is the decision of this court that Matt McKinney is guilty.
I kind of saw that coming. Things don't go my way very often.
You have claimed that you like children. So be it. You do not deserve the martial dignity of a firing squad.
Wait, are we even doing the same movie now?
You then shall be destroyed by children. You shall be forced to review, and the children shall lead them. No!